Welcome to Configuring Git Submodules, Part 2. Welcome back. I'm Bob Jones. In the first part, we looked at the concepts behind Git submodules and tried to lay a good foundation for what we're going to do in this part, which is actually walk through the code and see it happen. So now it's time to put it all together. We're going to start by creating 3 repositories, one for alpha, beta, and gamma each. So we go to Bitbuckets, create a repository for alpha, create one for beta, and one for gamma. Very simple to do. However, what we need to do is hook these repositories up now to their original source. So let me go back here and I'm going to find alpha, and I'm going to create that from code that I already have. In order to accomplish this, what I have to do is point the Git database in the modules folder for alpha. I have to point it to this repository. This line of code is actually a command to the Git command line tool, which eventually you may have to find yourself learning. But for right now, all we're going to do is copy that code, and then I'm going to open up a Git repository. I'm going to open up the Git repository here in alpha. I'm going to open up a command line window. So I'm going to say here, go to the Git command tool, and oops, wrong tool. Here, Git bash, that's what I want. And so here it is. I simply push this line of code in, and they are now connected. I can go to beta here and say same thing, Git bash. Put that same line of code in. I'm just going to change from alpha to beta right here. And I can actually make it even simpler. CD ... CD gamma. Take that same line. And now everything's plugged together. All right? So now that they're plugged together, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually check in my code in my source repository, in the modules folder, and push that up to Bitbucket. So here's the alpha code. Alpha, all it has in it is version 1.0. So I'm going to commit that, and I'm going to push changes up to the repository, and it's as simple as that. So in fact, let me go over to the repository right now, and I'm in the alpha repository. Whoops. So let me go back to alpha. Where is alpha here? Here we are. And we're in, and click on source. And right now, there is the alpha.txt file at version 1.0. So let's do this with the other two modules. So file, open, and I simply go to beta. I say check beta in, and say beta v 1.0. Check the box that says push it up and synchronize. And let's do gamma. Open, modules, gamma. Check the box that says I'm checking it in. Give it a label. Gamma v 1.0. Let's push the changes up and commit. Now, we have all of our modules up there. How do we now connect these modules with the sites? If we look in the sites themselves, we see for example, in the modules folder for alpha and beta, they're empty. How do we get the contents in there? This is where it all comes together. We create a submodule here. So I'm now going to open Site 1, and here we go. The screen stops dancing around on me. Site 1, so I'm opening that up, and I'm going to check in the file that was already there, the root file, initial check-in, and I don't have any repository to push it to, so all I had to do is just check it in. And now to create my submodule, over here in this blank area, I right-click and click on Submodule. Now, here's the magic piece. I've got to hook this up with the source. So I find my repository here. Here is alpha. I go up to an overview of alpha, and up here is a link, an HTTPS link. I copy that link. Go away, Firefox, don't need you right now. And let me get the source tree back here. I copy that link and paste it right in here. Then I say, yes, I want to point that to alpha, but to the alpha in the modules folder, this guy right here. So here I'm pointing my local dictionary, saying this is the local dictionary in the Site 1 now, and I'm saying here's your source. It's way up here in Bitbucket, and put it in the alpha folder. Done that. And it's now completed. So let's actually look at modules, alpha, and there is the text. There's module. This is now alpha in Site 1. All right. Let's do the same thing for beta. All right. So got to wait for this guy to catch up. Sometimes that takes him a moment or so. He's thinking about things. While he's thinking about things, I can simply look at the modules here. Here's alpha. It's in already. I just still have to check it in. But I'm going to add beta as well here. So I'm going to point myself to beta here and point myself to the right folder. So Site 1, modules, beta. Okay. Wait for it to do its thing. You can see the messages while it's going. And it's almost done. Completed. Let's go take a look at the beta folder. And there is the beta text. All right. So we have now actually closed the whole loop, and let's test it. I'm going to actually make a modification to beta. I'm going to call this now beta version 1, and I'm going to save that. And let's check in. Oh, got to check in everything up here first. So I'm going to check in beta and alpha. Check in alpha first. Site 1 LPHA. Get my fingers to work here. And this is at the site level that I'm making the check-in here. So this is not actually connected yet to the site is standalone. It's not connected to Bitbucket. The modules within the site are. So here's the modules alpha and beta, okay? And the site itself has nothing to commit, but if we go into the submodules and look at the history here, alpha is fine, nothing going on there, okay? Let's take a look at, see if I can find beta here. Might take me a moment. Come on, submodules. All right, site 1, there we go. Beta. Now, here it says, notice it says beta version 1.1. So what I'm going to do is say site 1 beta v 1.1. I'm going to push those changes up to the master, say commit. Now, if I go up here and look at the repository for beta, look in its source, there's beta.txt, and it's at version 1.1. Let's go down and see what about the code in our modules folder. Right here, it's at beta version 1.0. So let's go to beta, and actually let me show you, do it all the way here. File, open, git demo, modules, beta. All right, so I've got that, and what I'm going to do now is simply say pull, and watch what happens. And it's completed successfully. I go over here, and my beta file is updated. It's now version 1.1. So that's how we do subversion with Git. And the next step for me is going to be to actually apply this to all my WordPress files. Hope this helped, but I'm going to call it a wrap. Hope this helped. Feel free to contact me, bob@rhj4.com.